most ever by a first-year head coach. But you mentioned it, Calvin, that transition moving from the America East over to the CAA presents a level of newness ahead of this 2022-2023 campaign. Ready to go for a brand new season. Syracuse and Stony Brook, we're underway. Dyaisha Fair, the Buffalo transfer, figures to be the focal point of the Syracuse offense this year. Over 23 points per game a year ago.
And Fair started slow last night against Lemoyne, 0 for 5, didn't score in the first quarter.
That Lemoyne game, the only exhibition contest for the Cuse. Fair can start her afternoon off on the right foot, and now first taste of action for the Seawolves offense.
Good backdoor cut, just rushed the layup, was Almonds.
Hyman quickly the other way. Her free throw line try, no, but the follow doesn't fall either. But on the offensive glass, Strong cleans it up.
And that's going to be a really big focus on today's game. Can Syracuse dominate the glass like they did against Lemoyne? This is a Stony Brook team lacking a little bit of size. They lost some size to graduation. It's an all-hands-on-deck approach for the Seawolves on the glass. Can they at least stay competitive, crashing the rebounding battle?
Each team with one exhibition game, one exhibition win. Syracuse taking down nearby Lemoyne College, and Stony Brook the win over Adelphi. First taste of regular season action here today. Hyman orchestrating the offense for the Cuse. One of just 4 Syracuse returners draws the double. Hyman, the most tenured player on this Syracuse team. Led SU with just over 16 points a game a year ago. That mark good for 5th in the ACC. Short corner, Jay, good. Dariauna Lewis.
And that's her spot. Lewis loves that short corner mid-range jumper. You get her there. She is very consistent.
Some contact down low. Asia Strong picks up her first personal foul of the afternoon. Strong, the Wichita State transfer. Someone who figures to be a focal point in this Syracuse front court. A whole lot of new faces for the Cuse, Calvin.
And she's got a funny story on how she got to Syracuse. She hit the transfer portal from Wichita State. Syracuse rang her phone 10 minutes later. How about that? Coach Jack really wanted Asia Strong in orange and white, and she's got her.
Gigi Gonzalez at the line for the Seawolves. Nets the first. Gonzalez, really the distributor last year for Stony Brook. 112 assists in totality. That was top 3 in the conference. But this year, Coach Langford saying she'll need to pick it up from a scoring standpoint as Stony Brook departed their leading scorer from a year ago. And now Gonzalez figures to step up big time in the offense.
Gonzalez is someone, too, very hesitant to take average to below average shots.
Nice dish from Fair to Strong, who kisses the glass.
But Coach Langford says she's going to need to take those because we're going to need her to put the ball in the basket.
Strong takedown low. That's too easy for Sharice Pittman. Both teams working very quickly here through these first few minutes. Seawolves come up with the turnover. Here comes Warren out in transition. Almonds up top for Vargas. Her triple, yes. Our first 3 ball of the night. And Stony Brook seizes the early lead.
It's going to be a fast-paced contest. Both of these coaches want to play really fast. We've seen it in the early going, and Teisha Hyman going a little bit too fast. Get the ball in the middle, kick out, wide open look. Vargas drills it. And for a Stony Brook team undersized, they are going to need to hit that shot, something Lemoyne did very well when they went 11 for 25, 44% clip from beyond the arc in the exhibition here last week.
Yeah, it was only a 3-point win for the Cuse in that exhibition. Another whistle against the Cuse, this time against Hyman. An early 5-0 run for the Seawolves. Felicia Leggett-Jack in her first regular season game at the helm for her alma mater. Elena Rice picks off the inbound pass. Rice the other way, head up. Fair from the corner. Can't find home. Hyman comes in to lay it in. Rather make that Lewis who cleaned it up on the offensive glass. And Syracuse back on top.
As the Orange crashing the offensive glass once again, nobody rebounds like Dariauna Lewis. Second in the country in boards 2 seasons ago at Alabama A&M.
Fair wants to get out in the open court. Rice's three. Short. Fair up for the board. Now a Hyman try. Now Fair in the corner, and the Orange out in full force on the offensive glass, and they can reset with their point guard.
And they're getting open looks, and they are going to knock those down eventually. Stony Brook catches a break. They missed 2 straight.
Tried to go with the floater, not to be. Loose ball on that far side. Stony Brook possession.
Stony Brook is not going to be intimidated coming into this building. Our conversation with Coach Langford before the game, she said, we want to play the best teams because we are not looking to just have a regular season and go home. We are preparing for March every single time we step on the court, and a matchup with a Power 5 program against Syracuse allows us to prep against some of the country's best talent.
Gonzalez trying to make something happen offensively. 3-ball from Vargas, not there. And now the Orange out in transition, 2-on-1. Hyman and Fair. Teisha keeps it herself.
And it looked like Vargas in the back court came down a little funny on that ankle. Hyman with nobody in front of her, straight to the basket, fakes the pass, takes it to the rim, and finishes with the left hand. But unfortunate, Vargas went down. That led to the odd man break for the Orange.
Haven't seen Stony Brook a ton in the half court today. They like to get out and run in the open floor. Gonzalez's three too strong, and a good rebound defensively by Lewis for the Cuse.
And that's an example of a shot Gonzalez might have been more hesitant to take last season, but Stony Brook needs her to take more shots. Just a 25% three-point shooter a season ago.
Here comes Gonzalez, 1-on-3 the other way. Lefty try, too high off the glass. Rice, the receiver of that long pass. Now her cross-court feed. Fair penetrates. Whistle against her. It's not the first travel we've seen against the Cuse. A couple of early season miscues. It is day one, after all.
And there's a difference, Johnny, between going fast and moving too fast. And I think on that last possession, starting with the long pass down the court that Elena Rice had to catch on the baseline, and then Dyaisha Fair trying to move too quickly before she dribbled with it. Stony Brook's playing at their pace, and Syracuse looks a little rushed at points.
Backdoor feed off the leg of a Syracuse defender. A Syracuse team coming off just an 11-18 campaign a year ago. First time under 500 since the 06-07 slate. Marla King in the game now for Stony Brook. She tacks on her first points of the afternoon. Whistle against Hyman, and she can't believe it. Two teams trading punches so far early stages first quarter. 1-point lead for Syracuse on opening day of the 2022-23 season.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season. Get in and get away. Get 0% APR financing plus 0 payments for 90 days on select vehicles.
It's big, it's back, and it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
You like it natural? So does Clairol Natural Instincts Color. With coconut oil and aloe vera. No ammonia ever, so it always plays nice with your hair. Natural Instincts from Clairol. It's so you.
Feels like we're on the
coming.
Every love story is beautiful, but yours is the greatest love story of all. Hi, I'm Hadley Perry with Perry's Diamonds and Estate Jewelry. It starts with carefully selecting your diamond from our curated selection, including Hearts on Fire, the world's most perfectly cut diamond. Then we'll help you select the perfect ring from vintage or modern, or even custom designed by you with the help of our jeweler. With this ring, when you get down on one knee and utter those 4 little words, you begin the greatest love story of all. Yours, Perry's Diamonds and Estate Jewelry, where the greatest love stories begin.
The first quarter just about halfway gone. Syracuse a 1-point lead on Stony Brook in the season opener. Calvin, for Syracuse, you have 8 transfers and 2 freshmen. That leaves not a lot of familiar faces for the Cuse.
You get Teisha Hyman and you get Alana Rice back, 2 returning starters. Ava Irvin and Nia Wilson can help you off the bench, but like you mentioned, 3/4 or 2/3 of the team brand new on this Orange roster.
And there is one of those new faces, none other than Georgia Woolley, another one of the Buffalo transfers. 4 Buffalo transfers on this Syracuse team. Fair's one of them and wanted to go coast to coast, but just couldn't tap it home.
Surprised to see Woolley out on the floor. Coach Jack said last week she wouldn't be available, dealing with some injuries. Didn't play against Lemoyne. Also said she wouldn't be ready to go today, but she's out on the floor here in her Orange debut.
Woolley, one of those 4 Buffalo transfers, started 24 of 34 games she played in last year under Felicia Leggett-Jack. Early action for her here out on that island. Hyman wants it herself and hits it. That's the kind of play that Syracuse fans came to know and love a year ago from their leading scorer, Hyman. Stony Brook, the quick response.
What a good pass, and that was a tough finish too. Pittman underneath their own basket, high off the window, went in. A really good finish at the basket.
Hyman tries one more time. Teisha, really the focal point of this Syracuse team a year ago, and had some memorable games at that. Annie Warren says, I can do that too on the other end. Hyman a triple-double against Central Connecticut State last year, with points, assists, and steals. But an early miscue, and Hyman says, that's on me.
Stony Brook with the lead, and the more they hang around in this ballgame, the more confidence they're going to continue to accrue. This is Stony Brook club with a couple of Power 5 wins a season ago, so they are confident against some of the country's best talent. Up by 3, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. They're fearless.
Trip to the NCAA tournament back in 2021. A lot of new faces since then, though. Woolley wants to spot up. And now here we go again. Stony Brook out in transition. Hyman picks up the basketball, or pass too far.
Once again, another situation of Syracuse trying to move the basketball too fast up the floor. Hyman out of the corner of her eye saw Lewis running the break. Tried to get it to her, but she rushed her pass and overshot Lewis running towards the basket. So Syracuse, I think, just needs to calm down, play to their strengths, and get into the half-court offense where you have 2 dynamic scorers in Hyman and Fair who can take over even in a half-court setup.
Hyman and Woolley applying some press, something we haven't seen yet from a Syracuse defensive standpoint. Corley on that far corner. Nice move, nice shot.
Carice Corley to the basket. Didn't score much this season ago, but pretty take in the first quarter of game 1.
SU just 1 for its last 5 from the floor. Hyman trying to change that. Up and under. Some contact.
Really good to see Hyman in attack mode. She went to the basket a couple of times in this first quarter, but after a couple of missed shots from the perimeter, head down, one thing on her mind, that is get to the rim, and now she finds herself on the free throw line.
A place where she converted at an 82% clip a year ago. Syracuse, as a whole last year, pretty darn good from the line as well. Nearly 81% from the charity stripe for the Cuse, a mark that led the ACC, and Hyman a big reason why. Can't convert on the second, though. Warren the rebound. Here come the Seawolves the other way. Gonzalez head up. Hyman pickpockets her. Teisha going full speed. Free throw line try, yes.
Looks like Teisha is taking control of this ball game. Defense to offense, no hesitation to the mid-range, and when she's doing that, you got to watch out.
Allman's baseline try is good, and Stony Brook with a quick answer. Hyman for Woolley. Thought about the three. Instead, it drives. And a whistle in the process.
Teisha Hyman a little frustrated. The offense isn't going, hey, I'll do it myself. Give me that basketball. I'm going straight to the free throw line. Spot up Jay. And that is one of the purest jump shots you're going to see. Just so fluid. And when she gets to her spot and is going up with confidence and takes like that, she's a really fun watch.
Strong, Fair, Rice, and Wood, the five on the court for the Cuse. Fair concocting the play. Hyman tries again, too much. Gonzalez going right at Fair. She traveled.
Fair threw her off her dribble, trying to get that wraparound steal from the backside. She didn't get the basketball, but she did cause Gonzalez to shuffle her feet. So another forced Syracuse turnover. The Orange, though, still down 2 baskets here in the first quarter.
Hyman up top. She has room. Instead, draws a double. Fair trying to make something happen. Free throw line for Strong. Picks up her dribble. Turnaround Jay was blocked. Rice the rebound. Her follow, no, but a foul. How about Elena Rice on the glass? She might not be the tallest player out there, Calvin. Only 5'8". But she averaged 4 boards per contest last year, and we saw her flying all over the place against Lemoyne a few nights ago.
Because she's fearless rebounding the basketball. She doesn't see size. It's just a number to her. Goes down to the block, reaches over, and makes a big-time snatch of the basketball. And that's nothing new. She had multiple games last year with double-digit rebounds. She's a force at 5'8" to rebound for the Cuse, especially in the offensive glass.
Second try, cuts it to 2. Warren back onto the court for Stony Brook.
Also, Johnny, really encouraging to see Syracuse 3 for 4 here early at the free throw line. You mentioned their success last year, but they were just 6 for 17 in the exhibition win over Lemoyne from the stripe.
Another traveling violation. Each team with a couple of those committed against them so far in this first quarter. A Stony Brook squad trying to get back to the NCAA tournament, but a new conference to deal with, the CAA, Colonial Athletic Association. Their head coach, Ashley Langford, does have some CAA ties. Was an assistant with James Madison University, who, of course, now in the Sun Belt, but before that was a member of the CAA themselves. Not as daunting of a new schedule as it could be. Rice's 3. Off right, Strong on the offensive glass. That won't go either. Gonzalez wants to slow it up for Stony Brook.
Seawolves can hold for last shot.
Langford hollering out the orders for the Seawolves.
Barring a steal and a score here, Stony Brook going to lead after a quarter.
Gonzalez down that left lane. Corner try, no good. Quarter over. Well, Stony Brook drops 19 points on Syracuse through the first 10 minutes, and the Cuse can only muster 17. Some work to do for the Orange in the inaugural game of the season. Those new transfers is none other, or freshman, I should say, is Alexi McNabb on this Syracuse team, who has Orange in her blood through and through. Father Donovan, mother Raquel. Her mom played on the Syracuse women's basketball team when Felicia Leggett-Jack was an assistant. Dad Donovan went on to have a very successful pro football career, one of just 6 SU football jerseys hung up in the rafters here inside the Dome.
How about that for some Syracuse lineage? And also, Lexi was an original commit to Buffalo, but she switched to Syracuse with Coach Jeff.
Dyaisha Fair tacks on 3. And Syracuse is back in the driver's seat. Fair still out there for Syracuse. Her and Hyman, the dynamic 1-2 punch. Down low, Strong. Wants the jumper, left it short. Lewis the rebound, and the Cuse can reset. Hyman one-on-one. Warren applies the defense. There's the double, and it helps out big time. Jumper well short. Another offensive rebound for Syracuse, and now Fair can call out the play.
Strong and Lewis, quite the tandem on the offensive glass.
Fair on the drive. Rice up top, Hyman. Offensive foul called against Rice, and she can't believe it.
Rice knows the shot clock's winding down, decides to go to the basket, but just out of control before she kicks it out to Hyman. Offensive foul. And they switch it. How about this? They switch the call from an offensive foul to a block. I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
Rice pleads her case and tips in her favor. Syracuse keeps possession. Hyman to inbound from underneath.
I gotta start using that technique.
Pretty low conversion rate. Lewis couldn't put it in, and another whistle down low.
And now, with free throws coming, Syracuse can still get another offensive rebound, but a 1:20 possession, because what Syracuse is able to do off the glass and what Lewis is able to do off the glass. Misses her own free throw, waits about an hour and a half before it comes down off the rim, and then puts it right back up and rewards herself by going to the line.
First from Lewis is good. The Alabama A&M transfer, a 2-time HBCU All-American, who entering today has acclimated over 1,300 points in her career. Lewis's second try also good. And a 3-point lead now for the Cuse. Stony Brook in need of points. Up top, this is King. Off of Warren, and the Orange take it right back.
Earlier in this first quarter, Stony Brook had Syracuse playing the pace that the Seawolves wanted to play, and the Orange were out of control. Now it's flipped with the Cuse taking back the momentum. Stony Brook looks a little bit out of sorts.
A couple of crossovers from Fair. Gonzalez guarding her. That's been the matchup to watch. Hyman gives it to Strong at the free throw line. Rice draws the double. A whistle comes, though, against Syracuse off the ball, and Stony Brook takes it right back. Gigi Gonzalez bullets a pass up ahead for Warren. Her 3 won't go, and now here comes Fair. Thought about spotting up for 3. Instead, has to deal with the double, now triple team. Strong has open space. Her jumper won't fall. Rice the rebound. Another try. No good. Strong comes in out of nowhere. Last touch, they will say, by Syracuse. Strong a bit slow to get up. Appears to be all good. And Stony Brook takes over possession.
And look at the angle we got on this shot coming right into your living room. Watch out! Hope everyone's okay down there.
Up close and personal.
Tad down there working the camera, a little worse for wear. He's back up. He's ready to go. That's what professionals do. He's a tough guy down there working our baseline camp.
On the other end, Stony Brook trying to make something happen. King's three rolls right out. Strong couldn't haul in the board. Last touched by the Seawolves, though. Substitution for the Orange. Strong will have a seat, and Wood comes on.
And that's been the difference in this game early. Syracuse up by just 3, but it seems like every time the Orange have the basketball, they have 2, 3, 4 opportunities to score. For Stony Brook, it's usually a one and done off a miss.
SU on a 10-2 run over the last 5 minutes. Wood up top. Now Hyman gives for Fair. Has the matchup she wants, but gives it right back to her backcourt duo teammate. Hyman lost her dribble, and a scrum for a loose ball, jump ball. Syracuse keeps possession. Four turnovers so far for Teisha Hyman, one of the leaders of this Syracuse team. Fair gets it to Hyman. Her jumper, too strong, had to get it off quick. Not much time left on the shot clock and couldn't bury it home.
Tough shot for Hyman late in the shot clock, needed to make something out of nothing. Left it long, and Lewis couldn't handle the rebound. As Stony Brook continues just to hang around in this ball game, Syracuse hasn't taken advantage of what could be double-digit at this point, second chance points.
Well, that was sort of the narrative surrounding Syracuse's exhibition game, as Warren's three was off the mark, but the follow-through much better from Marla King. Syracuse, last time out against Lemoyne in the exhibition, 44% from downtown, won the rebounding battle by 27, still won the game by only 3 points, but Dyaisha Fair tacking on a couple more for the Orange here. Hyman the rebound. Out in open space on the break. Lewis's try. Whistle against Stony Brook.
Lewis is just such an intimidating presence down low. She gets the basketball in the paint. I do not want to be in her way. Really valiant effort there to try to draw the charge, but couldn't get the feet set as Lewis heads back to the free throw line.
Teisha Hyman to take a rest. Georgia Woolley back out to replace her. We saw Woolley a bit back in that first quarter of action. Lewis is first off the mark. Dariauna, a 72% free throw shooter a year ago at Alabama A&M. Her second try, much better result. And it's a 4-point Cuse lead. Quick try, Warren, she traveled. Haven't called Annie Warren's name all too much so far today. Only the 2 points for the leading scorer amongst all of Stony Brook returners. The Cuse have done their due diligence, locking down number 4 in red and blue.
And she's going to need to score if Stony Brook wants to stay in this ball game. They need both of their backcourt stars to show up, Gonzalez and Warren.
Shimmy shake from Fair, the three-pointer, not there. Wood on the glass, nice spin move, but her first try is off. And there was no second try because the rebound this time goes to Stony Brook. Seawolves the other way, down on that low block. Warren's open up top. Instead, some hounding SU defense on that far side, and Rice intercepts the pass. Elena going the whole way, off the glass and in. Orange fans getting loud inside the dome. Stony Brook trying to answer. Almond on the take. Off back rim. Follow through, not there, but a foul.
You want to take a look at what Syracuse's defense looked like when it is playing what Felicia Leggett-Jack imagines. That last possession was it. Tenacious zone defense, nowhere for Stony Brook to go. Orange finally get the basketball, and Elena Rice goes coast to coast to lay it in.
Sharice Pittman at the line for SBU. Her first try, off left. Pittman, who hit the 1,000-point and 1,000-rebound mark during not her senior, her junior year of high school. The Richmond, Virginia native. Now playing her college ball on Long Island. And she brings the Seawolves within 5. Fair in a hurry to get it up the court. Warren picks her up just beyond that three-point line. Uses Wood's screen. Now the switch. Rice spots up. Way off. Long rebound. Woolley keeps it in. And Fair the first to get there. How about the athleticism from Georgia Woolley? Now right back to her. She traveled.
Syracuse down 5 halfway through this second quarter, but the Orange turning defense into offense. Elena Rice, I'll take that, and I'll take
2. From our curated selection, including Hearts on Fire, the world's most perfectly cut diamond. Then we'll help you select the perfect ring from vintage or modern, or even custom designed by you, with the help of our jeweler. With this ring, when you get down on one knee and utter those 4 little words, you begin the greatest love story of all. Yours, Perry's Diamonds and Estate Jewelry, where the greatest love stories begin.
Game 1 of a new season for Syracuse women's basketball. It's a 5-point lead for the Orange on top of the Seawolves, a Syracuse team trying to end the season on a better note than they did a year ago. Bounced by Clemson in round 1 of the ACC tournament. Only 4-14 in the conference. That's their worst ACC record since joining the Atlantic Coast. But a new era ushered in today under Syracuse head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack, and a 5-point lead closing stages of the first half. Stony Brook begins this stretch with the basketball. At the free throw line, Almond knocks it down. Syracuse out-rebounding Stony Brook 26-15, plus 11 on the boards. But the Seawolves hanging around in large part due to shooting nearly 40% from the floor. Fair up top. All-American a year ago with Buffalo. Kicks out Woolley. Corner 3, you bet. The Buffalo connection in full swing in Central New York now.
Hey, welcome to Syracuse. Georgia Woolley, the MAC Freshman of the Year, drills her first triple.
Warren, a quick response on the other end. Syracuse wants to get out in the open floor quickly, but a foul against Woolley prevents the Cuse from doing so.
And that three-point shot is what Woolley can do. Dyaisha Fair, so dangerous, you got to contest her in the corner. There's her old Buffalo teammate for a wide-open look. And Georgia Woolley can score out there in bunches. A 30% shooter last season, but the MAC Freshman of the Year, second on the team at Buffalo, behind Fair in points per game last season.
The Australia native says she always wanted to experience a new environment. Did so in Buffalo. Now another new environment for her here. She wants to try again. Second time doesn't ring home though. Syracuse collects the loose ball, courtesy of Fair, and she'll slow it up. Step back 3. Yes! Dyaisha Fair, 3 more, and the Cuse are rolling.
And when Dyaisha Fair is doing that, you can't guard her. We asked Coach Langford before the game how she was going to guard Dyaisha Fair. She said, I don't know, but neither does Tennessee. So it's not just any competition Dyaisha Fair can ball against. Drags out the defense, they don't come out far enough, and Fair makes them pay with a bullseye from the near wing.
Recently named to the ACC newcomer watch list, 2-time first-team All-MAC at Buffalo, 4th in the nation in scoring a year ago. Just shy of 24 points per game. Can't touch it off the glass. Strong on the rebound. Her shot well short. And now Stony Brook collects the loose ball. Gonzalez across half court. Feeds for Almond on that left wing. Trying to get it back to Gonzalez, but another Seawolves turnover. Their 11th of the day. Rice settles it down for the Cuse as her head coach hollers the orders just in front of that Syracuse bench.
How about Asia Strong, though, running the break, the 6'2" forward bringing the ball up the court.
Couple of shimmy shakes from Fair. Can't shake her defender, though. 5 on the shot clock. Hughes got to hurry. Straightaway try from Fair. Can't connect. Timeout, Stony Brook. Ashley Langford wants to talk things over. 7-point lead for the Cuse. Closing stages of this first half. And Stony Brook getting acclimated to a new conference, making the switch over from the America East to the CAA. A Stony Brook team picked to finish 3rd in the conference behind Drexel and the College of Charleston. Normally, Calvin, you figure, okay, slide over to a new conference. There's going to be some growing pains. You got to earn your keep, work your way up. Not according to the preseason poll for the Seawolves.
Well, it's not like Stony Brook's just moving because they're a middle-of-the-road team. They want a new situation. No, they were a perennial power in the America East. They won the conference 2 seasons ago, up towards the top of the conference with a 14-4 America East Conference record last season. They are a very good program and moving up into the CAA where they can really compete for more conference titles.
A loss to VCU in the first round of the NIT a year ago. Annie Warren can't believe she traveled yet again. We've seen ample turnovers on both sides. 11 for Stony Brook, 8 so far for Syracuse. Hyman the other way now for the Orange. One-on-one with her defender, Warren. Rice swings it for Fair. Doesn't like the matchup, so opts to dump it down low for Lewis. Now Strong on that right block. She traveled too. A whole lot of players picking up that pivot foot today, and these officials taking notice.
You got to remember, too, this is opening night. So both teams trying to get their feet under them as they start a new campaign.
Sanaya Wilson into the game for Syracuse. And Strong will take a breather.
Wilson didn't play in the exhibition, so this is her first time seeing action for the Orange.
The sophomore Buffalo transfer. You guessed it. Felicia Leggett-Jack, former Buffalo head coach, brings 4 players with her from Western New York to Central New York. A long heave up ahead for Fair, who's one of those because of plays like that. Tough to stop Dyaisha Fair in transition. Now here comes Stony Brook the other way, but a swarm of Orange defenders say no. Long heave for Fair. She does it again, up and under. Welcome to Syracuse, Dyaisha, and the Orange fans on their feet.
And Coach Jack is fired up on the sideline. I bet when Dyaisha Fair plays Madden, her favorite play is 4 verticals because she is going deep right to the basket in transition.
Up to 12 points on the night. 3 ball, no good for the Seawolves. And Wilson the rebound.
Fair wants to run again.
Lewis coast to coast. Free throw line, Jay, cash.
Come on now, you're not supposed to do that at 6'1".
Syracuse can't miss. 12-second differential between shot and game clock. Gigi Gonzalez up top. Oh, Fair thought she picked her pocket. Instead, a kicked ball violation.
And this whistle is probably a big-time benefit to Coach Langford over at Stony Brook because her team was starting to slip a little bit, play a little bit out of control. The dome was rocking. Coach Jack fired up more than she normally is. Maybe this is an opportunity where Stony Brook can catch their breath and finish the last half a minute strong in the first half.
Gonzalez straight away. Double team comes. Step back, Jay. Off to the right. And now the Cuse can hold, but why would ya? Hyman out in the open court. Cross-court feed, Fair. Has the matchup with Warren. Couple of jab steps. Now backing her down. Up top, Hyman, 3 ball. Rice the long rebound. SU has to hurry, only 3 on the game clock. Long 3 from Lewis. Well short to end the half, but an emphatic second quarter for Syracuse. 39-26, SU ends that half on a 4-0 run. Game 1 of the season for the Orange, and you can expect to see a lot of plays like that
Holiday, she's only 5 for 12 from the floor, and a lot of those shots she probably thinks she should have made. So there's still a lot more left in the gas tank for Dyaisha Fair, who played every single second of that first half.
Stony Brook begins the second half with possession of the basketball. And we'll get it started. Working towards that right hoop in this second half, and a quick 2 points for Charisse Pittman. That's how you start the second half if you're Ashley Langford's crew.
Pittman going right to the hoop, keeping the ball high, finishing at the rim. You mentioned it, really good start, potentially a set play off the jump here in the second half.
Our first taste of this Syracuse offense that was high flying in that first half. Elena Rice trying to keep it moving. Her 3 ball off, and now Warren and the Seawolves trying to give the Cuse a taste of their own medicine. There's that pull-up. It's short. And Fair the rebound. There's that killer crossover. Now the drive. Kick out strong. Baseline try, connects. Teisha Strong showing her range and tacks on the first Cuse points of the second half.
Lewis and Strong are so good down low. We've already seen Lewis consistently hit that baseline jumper, and now Strong returns the favor.
Lewis with a nice rejection, but then on the follow-through, right back to Pittman down low, and she converts. Orange swinging it around the perimeter. Fair tosses it down low. Turnaround try. Lewis, too much. Warren another rebound. Working the other way. Thought about coast to coast. Instead, a 3 ball from Vargas off left.
Stony Brook now 1 for 10 from beyond the arc. Even if they hit 2 more of those, it's a 5-point game instead of an 11-point game.
A Seawolf team that was 5th in the America East a year ago when they did spot up from downtown, but haven't found that same success by any rate so far today, and neither is Syracuse really. Only 3 for 16 from downtown. Not numbers that you'd be proud of, but all things considered, it is just game number 1. Warren shovels it off for King to her right. Almond on the drive, it's good.
How about the drive by Day Almond? Fake the pass. Why are you faking it? You're going to the basket, you're scoring. Head down at 4-2. What a strong move.
Almond, who led the Seawolves with 6 points in the first half, now has 8 on the night. Warren picks up a foul on the reach-in on the Hyman drive. Now Teisha set to inbound from that Syracuse bench. Now she'll call over Fair to handle inbound responsibilities. Miscue for Syracuse, and the Seawolves the beneficiary.
That's an early season miscommunication mishap. Thought Rice was headed backdoor. She wasn't. Pass thrown out of bounds. That is an early season adjustment that Coach Leggett Jack's probably going to make when she watches back this film.
11 turnovers on the day now for the Cuse. Stony Brook coughs it right back. Rice the other way. Hyman, killer first step. Now to the rim, off the glass and in. Seawolves try a response. Gonzalez rolls around, no good. Haven't called her name much all night. Pittman's follow through. She was fouled.
Pittman's tough, too, down there. We've seen her go to the basket in this second half. Now she's fighting for extra opportunities down in the paint. She's a good-looking player just in her sophomore year, the transfer from James Madison.
Gonzalez on the drive. Been a tough day for her all afternoon long, but how about that? Just muscles her way through, and it's up and in for 2. Gonzalez now just 1 for 8. Fair loses the basketball. Gonzalez the other way. Behind the back. Crafty move. Can't tack on the finish, though. Lewis the board for the Cuse.
Gonzalez trying to take over this game. We talked at half how Gonzalez or Warren needs to step up. Gigi Gonzalez got the tough finish in the last drive. Tried to do the same thing this time around. Just couldn't finish. But if you're a Stony Brook fan, that's an encouraging sign that Gigi Gonzalez is trying to turn into takeover mode.
ISO ball for Dyaisha, air balls the 12-footer. And now the Seawolves can reverse course. Gonzalez up ahead. Warren traveled. And Warren frustrated, holding those palms to the dome roof.
That's the third time she's done that. Just took a step before putting the basketball on the deck. Easy call for the referees, who have caught her now 3 times in this game.
It is a single-digit game all told, but Syracuse takes over possession, make it now 13 Stony Brook turnovers on the night to Syracuse's 12.
And not the sharpest game by any means, but it is a season opener. Both teams trying to find themselves here early in the year.
Dyaisha Fair on the bench right now. For the first time today, Georgia Woolley in. It's Lewis down low. Turnaround floater won't go. Warren the board, and a foul in the process.
Incredible box out by Day Allman. That's something you're not going to see in the box score. But Day Allman using her body to box out Dariauna Lewis and get the basketball back for Stony Brook. A big-time play, especially now that it leads to points.
Allman up and in off the glass. It's not the first time she's done that today. Hyman settling it on it for Syracuse. Good screen from Strong. Hyman hacked. We saw highlight reel type plays from Teisha Hyman all year a season ago. Would have been something for her to get off that spin move shot. Too much contact, though, and the result, she'll go to the line.
That's one of the things that's going to be so fun for this Syracuse women's hoops team this season. Whether it's Hyman, whether it's Fair, every time down the court, they can do something that you have never seen before. That time Hyman tried to do something spinning with her back to the basket. Didn't get it to fall, but she gets to the line.
Hyman's first try is too strong. For what it's worth, that's Annie Warren's 3rd foul of the day. So she heads to the bench, and Stony Brook, at least for the time being, without their leading scorer from a year ago amongst all their returners. Hyman's second takes a kind roll off the glass and in. How will Stony Brook fare without Annie Warren on the court? That's the question. Gonzalez draws the double. Corner 3, short. Woolley the long board for Syracuse. Orange out in transition. Thought about a pull-up instead. Strong's baseline try, it's true. Asia Strong taking advantage of those short corner jumpers all day. And the Cuse now up double digits.
The range is expanding for Strong, which makes her ever so dangerous. You got a now defender out there.
Hyman's got a wide open lane. Right to the cup she goes. Defense into offense for Syracuse, and Ashley Langford wants a timeout. Syracuse up by 12, getting things done on the defensive end and offensively as well. 12-point lead for SU. A whole lot of orange on hand for Syracuse women's basketball season opener. Plenty of alum in the house as well, and they're being treated to a 12-point orange lead in Felicia Leggett-Jack's regular season head coaching debut. Former SU player from 1985 to 1989, the 85 Big East Freshman of the Year, a historic name surrounding this program for oh so long, and now she returns home as the captain of the ship. A 12-point lead for her orange. Stony Brook trying to answer towards that right hoop. A whistle underneath and a jump ball. And that brings us to our media timeout of the 3rd quarter. A 12-point Syracuse lead. Orange trying to tack on more in the second half when we return. Leggett-Jack, not the only new coach for Syracuse this season, because Leggett-Jack brings on her former Syracuse teammate and legendary high school coach over the past 3 decades, Sue Ludwig.
Coach Ludwig coming over from West Hill High School, the all-time winningest girls basketball coach in Section 3 history with nearly 500 wins. Still a top 20 all-time scorer here at Syracuse. A really big addition to Coach Jack's coaching staff, and she is so happy to have her aboard.
Number 17 on the all-time list for the Cuse was an underclassman when head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack was an upperclassman. Ludwig said right from the jump, you could tell Felicia Leggett-Jack was different. Her first day, before any lunch or meet and greets, she said, come on, we're going for a run. Determined and motivated right from the jump, just like Georgia Woolley. She lays it in. The Buffalo transfer making things happen offensively for Syracuse. 14-point ball game.
Good move by Woolley. Stony Brook out of that timeout, came out in a full court press and right into a 2-3 zone.
Ludwig and Jack's relationship goes really so far back. A cleanup on the offensive glass by Charisse Pittman. Leggett-Jack got hurt her senior year, a year where she was really poised to be an All-American, had received a couple of honorable mention nods, but wanted to get that official All-American recognition. Didn't happen as she suffered the injury. Sanaya Wilson high off the glass for 2 for Syracuse. But Ludwig said that after a big win over St. Joe's, a foe of Syracuse's at the time, Leggett-Jack, despite not playing, she was already hurt before that, received the game ball. That's the kind of leader she wants. Dyaisha Fair, quite possibly the leader of this Syracuse team. She turns defense into offense and lays it up and in for 2 more. An 11-2 Syracuse run. Vargas can't get anything on the other end.
Syracuse starting to take control of this basketball game. Dyaisha Fair says, I'll take that. And with my speed, you're not catching me. Right to the basket with the right hand, the lay-in. The Orange starting to open this game up by 16 and counting. Stony Brook needs answers, especially in the offensive end. A
game-high 14 points for Dyaisha Fair, 2-time first-team All-MAC with Buffalo. Narimar Vargas tacks on 1 more for the Seawolves. Vargas, an interesting story. She spent some time this past summer with the Puerto Rican national team. And her teammate on that Puerto Rican national team in the FIBA World Cup, none other than Stony Brook's leading scorer from a year ago, India Pagan. But Pagan graduating through the program, and Vargas steps into a bigger role, a starting role this year for Ashley Langford Seawolves.
And anytime you can get that international experience, a big boost to your offseason workouts can really help out your game.
Puerto Rico team that never won a game in that World Cup before this year when they made it all the way to the quarterfinals. Strong trying to expand the range. Not enough umph behind that one. Seawolves out in transition with Almond. Woolley took a tumble. Foul against Woolley.
Well, that's pretty much the definition of biting on a pump fake. Terrell just gave Woolley a little bump to the basket, and Woolley went flying into the air. Luckily, Terrell didn't finish her shooting motion because she'd be at the line for a triple, but instead it's just out of bounds in front of the Stony Brook bench for the Seawolves.
The Seawolves just 1 for their last 12 from downtown. They work it down low here. Vargas. Another pump fake, but can't cash in. Gets her own rebound. Free throw line try. Too strong, but a whistle.
I've been impressed by Day Allman today for Stony Brook. We talked about Gonzalez and Warren being the headliners of this team, but the grad transfer from Southern Miss, Day Allman, looks like she is going to be a real contributor in this Seawolves offense.
Sanaya Wilson, the perpetrator for Syracuse. Almond 11 points now on the afternoon. That's tied for a game high for the Seawolves.
And Almond was a distributor during her time for the Golden Eagles. Was top 10 in the Conference USA with assists last season. Really a steals and assists player. But her offense has spiked a dozen here in her first game in Stony Brook Red.
A 4-year player at Southern Mississippi brings a wealth of experience, as does Annie Warren. High off the glass and in, a kind roll from Warren. And the Seawolves within 10.
And Almond there showing her distributing abilities. Goes to the basket, gets the free throw line last possession, then picks up an assist on the ensuing one, and just like that, Stony Brook has cut it back down to 10.
Fair wants it herself. Now dishes off for Hyman. On the drive, up and in, book it and one. A Teisha takeover, and she's headed to the line for one more.
Well, she's not just a bull because she was born that month. She's a bull because she's a bully going to the basket. Find that camera, Teisha, and one.
14 points on the night now for Hyman. 5th in the ACC in scoring a year ago, and she's back for more. A stat sheet filler. Can't convert on the N1 try. Last touch by the Seawolves. So SU will keep possession. Give and go to Fair. Spots up from the corner. Rattles around and does not drop. Allman the other way. Long heave up ahead. Lay-in is good. Erin Terrell.
I'm telling you, when Stony Brook scores, Day Almond has some sort of significance in that play. Another dime to get an easy layup.
Terrell's first points of the night. Wilson on the other end. That's too easy. Open look like that. Short J. Almond off left rim. Long rebound tapped out by Rice, and Stony Brook keeps. Seawolves team trying to build off of their 23-6 season a year ago. Ashley Langford in her second year at the helm. Most wins ever by a first-year Stony Brook head coach. And a tough test here to open the 2022-2023 season. Kicked ball off the leg of Asia Strong back into the game for Syracuse.
How active are the Syracuse guards? In the passing lanes, trying to get steals off the dribble. Dyaisha Fair wreaking havoc once again on the defensive side of the ball, as does Teisha Hyman, and there she is again.
Take away from Hyman, up ahead for Fair. 2-on-2 for the Cutes. Awkward look, rattles around and out, and a foul afterwards. Lewis is fired up against the Seawolves. And Lewis is headed to the line for 2 shots.
Dariauna Lewis, 2 shots.
Lewis now with 10 points, 10 boards, welcoming herself to the Syracuse community. The Alabama A&M transfer, just over 15 points per game a year ago, goes 2 for 2 in this instance and puts the Cuse up 14. Leggett Jack and the rest of the Syracuse staff really liked what they saw from Lewis in the exhibition against Lemoyne. 13 points, 12 rebounds. Call it 2 straight double-doubles, albeit one being an exhibition. Here comes Hyman quickly the other way. Back to the basket, right back to Lewis. Can't find the net.
And although it's a miss, that's another thing you gotta like about Dariauna Lewis. She runs the floor very well for her size.
Warren right in front of her own bench. Trapped in the corner. Double team effective for Syracuse. Strong and Fair applying the pressure, and Stony Brook to inbound in front of its own bench. Allman, the leading scorer for the Seawolves. 2-second differential between shot and game. Content to let this clock trickle down. Gets the screen. Strong with the help. Nice ball fake. Now with the right hand. Too much. Another try. Whistle comes. Pittman down low. Contact applied with under 1 second to go. And the Seawolves a chance to shave into this 14-point deficit.
And you got to give Stony Brook credit. Syracuse has dominated the glass in this game, but Stony Brook continuing to crash, looking for any second opportunities they can, and they get to the free throw line with less than a second to play in the third quarter.
Pittman only 1 trip to the free throw line in 13 games last year. She went 0 for 1. Knocks down the first one here to make it a 13-point ball game. and goes 2 for 2. Asia Strong to the bench. That last foul, her 3rd of the night. So just for good measure, Kyra Wood on to replace her as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. 12-point lead for the Cuse. 60-48, Orange on top with 1 quarter left to go inside the dome. This could be a very different ball game.
It flies way under the radar that Stony Brook has won in 2 of the 3 quarters up to this point. But an Orange offensive explosion in that second has given the Cuse a 12-point lead with 10 minutes to play on opening day.
The defense certainly on par in that second period as well, holding the Seawolves to a mere 7 points. And to get the 4th quarter started, it's a whistle against Syracuse. Kyra Wood, the perpetrator, and Stony Brook go to the free throw line to open up 4th quarter play.
Day Elman continuing to make stuff happen for Stony Brook.
2 for 2 from the line so far tonight is Allman. And the first is too strong. Stony Brook on the night, 9 for 11 from the stripe as a team. A team that shot 76% from the free throw line a year ago. Good enough for 1st in the America East, their conference then, the CAA, their conference now.
So here comes this Stony Brook press. Seawolves, no time is running low. They're getting really aggressive defending the basketball.
It's Warren who is hounding Hyman right now up top. Teisha hollering out the orders, receives the screen from Lewis. Lewis rolls, but instead it goes to Fair in the corner. They switch sides over to Rice. 3 won't go. SU just 3 for 17 from downtown on the night. Warren baseline try, back up top. Stony Brook will answer with the 3, but it's too much. Now Rice the other way, getting out in the open court. Wood traveled. 1 too many steps for number 22 in orange and white. SU still without a point in this 4th quarter, just shy of a minute in. And Stony Brook takes over the possession.
If Stony Brook wants to come back in this game, Johnny, they're going to need to find some sort of feel for that shot beyond the arc. Still just 1 for 13 from deep. That's under 8% shooting the 3 ball. They need some of those to drop if they want to come back in this game.
35% from the floor on the night as a whole. Syracuse needs someone to inbound the basketball. Rice takes it herself, and Fair up to retrieve. Dyaisha Fair, cool, calm, and collected. Her team up by 11.
I'd be calm, too, if I can dribble the way she can.
Looks like she wants to go ISO, but some swarming defense. Instead, Rice on the baseline. Now back out for Lewis. Good take, good finish. Dariauna Lewis throws her name in the conversation, and a traveling violation goes against Almond and the Seawolves. That hands the ball right back to the Cuse, up 13.
Dariauna Lewis, known for her rebounding, but she has shown in the exhibition and then in this game this afternoon, she can put the ball in the hole. A really big-time lay-in. That is just a microcosm of what she's been doing in these first couple of contests.
14 from Fair, 14 from Hyman, and Lewis very quietly right there with them at 13. 10 boards to go along hand as well. Hyman's baseline try. I'll call it a charge against Teisha.
Hyman's been going to the basket this entire second half, just going to the basket with their head down too fast that time. Really good stick by Sharice Pittman to plant those feet right outside the restricted area and draw a turnover for the Seawolves.
Gigi Gonzalez and the rest of Stony Brook still with some time to work with. Warren pulls the string on a 3, but no answer. Rice up ahead, led Fair way too much. A bullet of a pass from Elena Rice. Those 3 guards are really the 3 that are at the forefront of this Syracuse backcourt between Fair, Hyman, and Rice. Rice, who came off the bench last year, sort of that go-to option, the first player off the bench. But now she steps up in a starting role for Felicia Leggett-Jack this season. Good take on that right side. Up and in from Almond, who is a bit slow to get up.
And Stony Brook can't afford to lose Almond. You just saw what she can do, a really strong take to the basket, floated off the back rim and in. She's down. She wanted to walk it off. She gets up rather quickly, not putting much weight, though, on that right ankle. The game she's been having this afternoon, a piece you cannot lose if you're Stony Brook, not only tonight, but going down the stretch of the season. Another thing that Coach Langford smiled about when we talked to her pregame, my entire team is healthy, and you can't afford to lose a piece. And Almond, who's been a starter in this lineup for Stony Brook today, and has put up a big-time performance on the scoreboard as well.
A game-high 15 points so far this afternoon for Almond. Errant pass from Rice goes nowhere but right out of bounds, and the Seawolves take over.
And that's been a little bit of a bugaboo for the Orange in Game 1 this season. A lot of errant passes. Passes to an area with really no particular intended receiver. Another pass flies out of bounds, another turnover for the Orange. Hey, Syracuse in this game, 17 turnovers. I know it's the season opener, but not what Felicia Leggett-Jack wanted in her first game at the helm.
If there's any silver lining, Stony Brook with 19 themselves. Warren tried to get up for the board, and it over the back against her.
The Stony Brook bench cannot believe it.
For what it's worth, that's foul number 4 on Annie Warren. So in a quarter where you're down by 11 and only have 7 minutes and change to work with, maybe Stony Brook's best player will need to dial back the aggressiveness. Hyman dribbling right in front of her here. Now Gonzalez picks her up. Cross-court feed for Woolley, but it goes in the wrong direction.
And there it is again. Another errant pass, really in an area where Woolley wasn't located. Turnover for the Cuse.
7 turnovers for Hyman alone tonight. Turrell on that near side. Lewis thought she got all ball. And still firmly up in the air. They'll say a little too much body. And Erin Turrell going to the line.
Stony Brook's taking advantage of their free throw opportunities in this game. 10 for 12 from the stripe, but still, we keep going back to the well, but this is the point of the game where you look back at the stat sheet and say, okay, Stony Brook's down by 11. What have they not done? They haven't hit the 3. Still 1 for 15. They got to keep firing away, though, because they're going to need those shots to drop if they want a shot of stealing this game here on the road.
I hate to play the what-if game, Calvin, but if a couple more of those 3 balls have fallen throughout the course of this game for the Seawolves, it is a completely different story here in Syracuse.
Encouraging sign, though, now. Here comes Day-Day Ellman back out onto the court for Stony Brook. Still limping a little bit, but good to get Warren a little break with those 4 fouls.
Hyman slow to holler out the orders for the Cuse. It's Woolley down low for Wilson. Right back up top, seeing a bit of a zone, it appears, here for Stony Brook. Fair swings it over to Woolley. The 2 former Buffalo Bulls go back and forth. Now over to Hyman. Wide open tray. Too strong. Wilson the rebound. Woolley thought about a 3. Instead, now Lewis.
And Syracuse can be very patient on these possessions down the stretch in this ballgame.
Hyman, fadeaway, J, no. Lewis, another offensive board, and Syracuse can reset. Woolley, spot up 3, you betcha. Big time tray for Georgia Woolley, and the Orange are up 12.
And Woolley can add some range into your offense. Give it to me, Teisha. I'm ready to fire it away. Nothing but string. Just such a pure stroke from the Australian. All the confidence in the world to drill it early in the shot clock. And Syracuse does get 3 points out of that big-time possession.
Second 3 on the night for Woolley on 4 tries. 30% from downtown a year ago. Stony Brook wants to answer with the 3 of its own, but cannot. Now here's Woolley out in transition. Fair, step back try. Can't connect. Wilson the board. Second follow through. She's fouled. Sanaya Wilson has emerged as a force to be reckoned with down in the paint.
Sanaya Wilson, offensive rebound and gets rewarded. And the funny thing is she cleaned up the mess that Fair created on that missed shot. When those two first got together at Buffalo, Sanaya Wilson came in last season as a freshman. Dyaisha Fair said Wilson didn't think Fair liked her. But I get their relationship's getting better now, especially after Wilson gets to the free throw line after the miss from Fair.
If you're Dyaisha Fair, there's no reason not to like what Sanaya Wilson has done so far tonight. 4 rebounds and knocks down that first free throw.
And really was a boost off the bench for the Orange in that first half when she came in. Only played a handful of minutes, got just under 2 minutes, but was a +6 at the end of that first half.
Nifty behind the back move from Allman. Her 10-footer rolls around and out. Hyman the board for the Cuse. Fair working slowly. Just seems like every time Dyaisha Fair has the ball up top, she's in control. Not in control of that jump shot, though, as it fell out at the last possible second. And the Seawolves will take over the possession arrow.
Fair's got 14 points. She's 6 for 19 from the floor. And most of the shots she's missed tonight, she hasn't missed by much. So just think of that going forward. If she has a better shooting night than under 33% where she sits right now, the points are going to come for Dyaisha Fair. And even on an off day, she's got 14.
Warren trying to make amends for her off day. That shot won't go. But a rare offensive rebound for the Seawolves. Terrell down low, Pittman. She's doubled. Doesn't work. Fair the other way. Right back for Woolley. The two play a little give and go game. Allman defending Fair. Back to the corner for Woolley, now down low. Up top. Fair wants a 3. Lewis the board. With all these offensive rebounds, Syracuse continuing to just milk down that clock. Make it 23 offensive rebounds on the night now for the Cuse. Strong's layup was rejected, and last touch by none other than Strong herself. So Stony Brook will have the basketball when we return. 23 offensive boards on the night for Syracuse. You'll take that 13-point lead for the Cuse. Oh, maybe a future Syracuse basketball star in attendance today. Syracuse on top of Stony Brook by 13. Just over 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And with Calvin Cristoforo, I'm Johnny Gadamowicz. The scoring for Syracuse, Calvin, is pretty widespread. How about Dariauna Lewis pouring in 13?
Yeah, you expect Fair and Hyman to be at the top of that list, but Dariauna Lewis, a double-double today for the Orange. She has been a real force down low, has shown the ability to hit that short corner mid-range jumper, and has shown the ability to go straight to the can.
Well, Stony Brook has some serious work to do. Shots like that won't cut into this lead. Georgia Woolley, the rejection, and now Woolley herself working it the other way. No real sense of urgency for the Cuse here, and rightfully so. It's Strong down on that low block. Dumps it off Lewis. Up with the right hand and in. 15 points for Dariauna Lewis, having whatever she wants out there. Hyman the steal. Up with the right hand. She'll go to the line. The entire Syracuse bench, Calvin, looked like it was ready to explode if that layup fell for Hyman.
Hyman with a big-time steal, but here is Lewis again. Picks up the loose ball. She knows what to do. I'm going straight to the basket and getting another easy bucket. And Hyman then on the next ensuing inbounds pass, continuing to be uber aggressive against Stony Brook ball controllers. Pickpocket, back to the line. And now Hyman right back on top with her 16 points.
Hyman 4 for 7 now from the line on the afternoon.
Also underrated, Hyman a rebound away from messing around and picking up a double-double.
Syracuse guards getting rebounds. It's nothing new. Teisha Hyman, Elena Rice did it all year last year. And now they're back for more under a new coaching staff. Hyman, another steal. Wide open Fair up ahead. She connects. The dynamic duo of Teisha Hyman and Dyaisha Fair on full display in Syracuse's opener.
And as Fair once again running the old reliable 4 verticals to the basket.
10-0 Syracuse run, and the Orange have the Seawolves on the ropes.
Watch your dribble against these 2 guards. Hyman and Fair tag team for the steal, and then Hyman to Fair. Good luck running with her speed. She goes right to the basket, and another easy lay-in.
One of the more illustrious backcourts that the ACC will have to offer this year. The duo of Hyman and Fair. Of course, still a ways away from that regular ACC slate. You figure this early season, you sort out any kinks in the non-conference portion of the schedule, and Syracuse just having its way with Stony Brook here in this 4th quarter. Asia Strong right back to work. There it is. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Asia Strong puts the Cuse up by over 20 now. Fair across midcourt, turning on the Jets and takes a tumble. Not what you wish to see right now from a Syracuse standpoint, but the entirety of her Orange teammates want to help up Fair.
Fair stepped on the turbo, went fast to the basket. Big-time collision between 2 very skilled guards. Fair and Annie Warren both hit the deck, both worse for wear. Warren in some pain walking off the court. Fair in some pain at the free throw line. Hopefully both of them are okay because their respective ball clubs really need them throughout this season. Tonight just being opening day.
Warren would have needed to head to the bench regardless. That her 5th foul of the day. So she is removed for the remainder of this game with 2:19 to go, and Fair trying to pad the Syracuse lead does just that.
And not the start to the season Annie Warren had hoped for. Her 5th season with Stony Brook, fouled out in the opener tonight with just 6 points. She had just 6 points when these 2 teams met a couple seasons back. That was an 11-point Syracuse win.
A rejection from Dariauna Lewis. An exclamation point, not just on the offensive end for Lewis, but defensively too.
Dariauna Lewis, what can't you do? You want to try to score on me? Come on now. Slap that one into the first row. She has done it in all 3 phases. On offense, on the glass, and on defense. And as the 2 Syracuse guards get a nice hand in Fair and Hyman as they leave the court, Lewis had just as much a hand in this Syracuse effort as those 2 did today.
Particularly defensively, 4 blocks for Lewis on the night as well. Shot clock violation against the Seawolves. It appears that Stony Brook believes they received a whistle for a foul. One official said shooting foul, one official said shot clock violation.
Well, the initial call on the far sideline right in front of the Stony Brook bench is a shot clock violation. What they're looking at is, did the foul occur before the shot clock buzzer expired? There's no question there was contact. It's just what point in the shot clock did the contact occur?
All things considered.
And that's the conversation. Was the foul before the shot clock buzzer expired?
Officials will look at the tape as we can zoom out and take a look at what this means for Syracuse as a whole. You think about all the hype throughout this offseason. Felicia Leggett-Jack coming in for her first season as the Syracuse head coach, and a program really in need of a turnaround after not making it out of the first round of the NCAA tournament a year ago. And of course, by no means is today's game a microcosm, Calvin, of what the next few months might have in store, but a strong start to the year nonetheless.
And absolutely, against a Stony Brook team that has had a lot of success against Power 5 opponents, a really confident bunch that was going to come into play today, really confident. And this is the replay. It looks to me like Stony Brook on that first replay has a really good case. Let's see when this foul occurs. Shot clock definitely expired. And the foul did, in fact, happen before the shot clock expired. It looked like there was about 0.2 of a second left on the shot clock when Lewis committed that foul. So Stony Brook will shoot free throws. Delaney Yarborough, the freshman into the game for the first time, finds herself on the strike.
A chance to halt a 14-0 Syracuse run as Yarborough goes to the line. 2022 McDonald's All-American East nominee. And Ashley Langford, Stony Brook head coach, wants to make sure everyone is on the same page before Yarborough gets set to take these free throws. Banks the first one off the glass. Next up for Syracuse, they'll be right back at it on a Thursday. A home game against a Central New York foe in Colgate. As for Stony Brook, they return home to play Manhattan in their home opener on Thursday as well. Kennedy Perkins in the game now for Syracuse. It's strong down low. Nia Wilson has checked in addition to Lexi McNabb. So Coach Leggett Jack dipping in to some of those reserves, as you might expect. The luxury of a 20-point lead, 90 seconds to go. Strong back to the line, where she has not yet been so far tonight, believe it or not. SU now just 14 for 20 on the night as a whole from the free throw line. Does seem surprising to an extent with how physical Strong has been all night long. That was her first trip. And Felicia Leggett-Jack going to make one more swap. Ava Irvin into the game now for the Cuse as well.
Now everyone on the Syracuse bench dressed to play today has gotten into this contest. As a Cuse, it's all the new faces in their first game in the Dome.
It'll be Kennedy Perkins at the free throw line here. SU up big, just looking for more. Too much on that first one from Perkins. 5'6" freshman from Illinois. Grew up in the Chicago area, said she went to a Bulls game, saw Derrick Rose play, and the rest was history. Wanted to be just like that. Nia Wilson picked off a pass. Now Wilson with that right hand up and in. And the Syracuse bench on its feet for one more.
Nia Wilson, not a newcomer. Welcome back. Off the steal with one thing in mind. Get to the hoop. Watch her drive with the left hand, absorb the contact, hang in the air, and finish.
Wilson played in 20 games a year ago as a freshman and one of 4 Syracuse returners. Take it she's on good terms with all of her teammates as well based on that last reaction. Yarborough on the low block has it stripped. Now here comes Perkins. Nice little Euro step, but a foul before she could get that shot off, and Perkins down in a bit of pain. Up by 25, under 60 seconds to go. Of course, the last thing you want to have to deal with right now from a Syracuse standpoint.
Syracuse, even with the reserve players continuing to go right to the basket, tried the Euro step and just stepped on the foot of Whiting as she was trying to make her way to the hoop. Got up, though, definitely in some pain, walked it off, and now she'll shoot free throws.
A 15-3 Syracuse run. How about that? To slam the door on this Seawolves crew. Stony Brook 0-4 all-time against the Cuse entering today, and barring anything extremely catastrophic, we'll move to 0-5 across these final 30 seconds. Stony Brook will keep. Another substitution for the Seawolves. Just for good measure, Liza Field into the game. She takes the spot of Lauren Fillion. Field, the sophomore forward. Only 5 on the shot clock. Step back, Jay, it's good. Khalees Whiting finding her jump shot in the game's closing stages.
And that was money. How about the step back string?
Syracuse can milk the clock if they so choose. Orange faithful on their feet. And game 1 of the Felicia Leggett-Jack era is a Syracuse victory. Go ahead and check that box. Orange 79, Stony Brook 56. The Cuse 1-0 to start the new year. Impressive win for Syracuse, who out-rebounds Stony Brook Calvin 59